For more than a decade, Tony Beets has stood as one of the most reliable, respected, and unforgettable figures on Gold Rush. Known across the world for his fearless approach to mining, his blunt and direct communication style, and his deep commitment to family values, Tony built a legacy that made him a favorite among fans. Yet, in recent seasons, viewers began to notice some unsettling changes surrounding him and his operations. Speculation quickly spread throughout the Gold Rush community, and after weeks of silence, Tony finally broke his silence to address the growing concerns. What he revealed confirmed what many fans had feared, marking a major turning point in his remarkable story. So, who exactly is Tony Beets? Tony is not just a television personality. He's a real miner who earned his fame through the Discovery Channel's hit series Gold Rush. Over the years, he became known as the Viking, a nickname that perfectly captured his strong, authoritarian leadership style, his fearless attitude, and his rugged appearance. While many reality TV stars fade from fame once the cameras stop rolling, Tony's reputation has endured because it's built on real mining experience and genuine hard work. Born in the Netherlands, Tony eventually made his way to the Yukon in Canada, where he began his journey in the mining world. Through years of determination, discipline, and an impressive ability to manage large-scale operations, he earned the respect of both viewers and fellow miners. His name became synonymous with success on Gold Rush as audiences watched him take on massive projects, face harsh challenges head-on, and never back down from a risk. To many fans, Tony represents the very soul of the show: hard work, resilience, and the relentless drive to push forward no matter how tough the conditions get. Tony Beets was born on December 15, 1959, in Wijdeens, a quiet farming village in the Netherlands. Coming from a hard-working family that depended on farming for survival, Tony learned discipline and responsibility from an early age. Life in Wijdeens was simple but demanding. Mornings started early, and days were filled with physical labor, caring for animals, tending crops, and maintaining the land. Everyone in the family had a role to play, and laziness was never an option. Tony often recalled how these experiences taught him that work came before anything else. By his teenage years, he was already handling machinery, managing animals, and making adult-level decisions on the farm. These early lessons shaped his unbreakable work ethic and straightforward nature, traits that later defined his on-screen persona. However, life in his small Dutch village offered little opportunity for growth. Tony soon realized that if he stayed, his future would likely mirror that of his parents, steady but limited. When his father fell ill, Tony took on even more responsibilities, which made him mature faster and see just how hard life could be without new prospects. In his late teens, he began to dream of leaving the Netherlands to chase bigger goals. Canada seemed like a land of promise, a place where construction, mining, and industry offered endless opportunities. Leaving meant stepping away from his family and everything familiar, but Tony knew it was necessary. That decision would forever change his life. In his early 20s, Tony packed his bags and left the Netherlands, heading for Canada with little more than determination and a desire to build a better future. The move was not easy. He faced a completely different culture, climate, and language. But Tony was never the kind of man to give up. He took on all kinds of labor jobs, from farm work to construction, to support himself and learn the ropes of life in a new country. His persistence eventually led him north to the Yukon, a region famous for its gold rush history and brutally demanding conditions. The Yukon was a land that tested every ounce of strength and patience. Many who came to mine its lands quickly gave up. But Tony saw opportunity where others saw hardship. He began working for other miners, learning the trade from the ground up, how to handle heavy equipment, manage crews, and survive in the harsh northern wilderness. The early years were tough. The work was grueling, the pay was low, and comfort was rare. But Tony endured, determined to understand every layer of the mining business. As time went on, his reputation grew. People began to recognize him as a man who was dependable, hardworking, and unshakably direct. While others hesitated, Tony made bold, practical decisions that moved him forward. His transition from a small Dutch farmer's son to a miner in the Yukon was not just a change in geography. It was the beginning of a legend in modern gold mining. After years of working for others, Tony eventually saved enough money and gained enough knowledge to run his own mining operation. This was a major milestone in his life. Moving from an employee to a boss came with risks, but Tony's years of experience gave him the confidence and skill to take control. From the very beginning, he focused on efficiency and results. He pushed his team hard, but always led by example, earning both respect and loyalty. Tony's rise to fame came when the Discovery Channel introduced him to audiences around the world through Gold Rush. His first appearance came during the show's second season, where he worked alongside the Hoffman crew. His no-nonsense attitude, deep knowledge of mining, and commanding leadership immediately caught viewers' attention. Soon, Tony became one of the most talked-about personalities on the show. As the seasons continued, Tony became a central figure on Gold Rush, known for his large-scale operations and ability to think big. Unlike many miners who depended on luck, Tony relied on careful planning and strategic thinking. One of his most iconic moments came when he decided to restore and operate an enormous old dredge, a piece of mining machinery that had been out of use for decades. Most people thought the project was impossible, but Tony's determination proved them wrong. Rebuilding the dredge piece by piece became a symbol of his fearless spirit and vision. That project not only increased his gold production but also cemented his reputation as a man who could turn the impossible into reality. His bold decisions, strong leadership, and refusal to back down earned him both admiration and intimidation among his peers. What viewers saw on television wasn't an act. Tony Beets was the same man on and off the screen, a hardworking, tough, and disciplined miner who built his success through pure effort and grit. Because of his rugged appearance, straightforward speech, and fearless attitude, Tony earned the nickname the Viking. The name perfectly represents his courage, his discipline, and his willingness to face any challenge head-on. Throughout his career, Tony has built one of the most successful and efficient mining operations in the Yukon. He's known for running his business with precision, organization, and an unrelenting drive to succeed. One of the most defining achievements of his career was the successful restoration of that old dredge. While many doubted him, Tony saw potential in the machine and brought it back to life. The massive undertaking proved his leadership, creativity, and technical skill. His operations continue to rank among the most productive on Gold Rush, and his management style, though strict, commands respect from everyone who works for him. Off-screen, Tony Beets is deeply respected within the mining community. His success is not built on TV fame or shortcuts, but on decades of practical experience, intelligent decision-making, and fearless determination. He's a true embodiment of hard work and leadership in one of the toughest industries in the world. Behind his strong and fearless persona stands his wife, Minnie Beets, who has been both his life partner and business partner for over 40 years. The two first met as teenagers in the Netherlands, where they were neighbors. Over time, their friendship blossomed into a lasting relationship that became the foundation of Tony's personal and professional success. Together, they built not only a family but also a mining empire that continues to inspire millions around the world. When Tony Beets made the life-changing decision to leave his home in the Netherlands in search of better opportunities abroad, his wife, Minnie, never left his side. Standing by him through every uncertainty, she joined him on the journey to Canada, where together they began building a new life from the ground up. What started as a shared dream soon became a shared empire. Minnie wasn't just the supportive wife of the legendary Viking of the Yukon. She became an integral part of the family's mining operation. With her sharp mind for numbers and her practical, steady approach, she took charge of managing the company's finances and administrative work, keeping the entire business organized and efficient. While Tony led with boldness and instinct, Minnie balanced him with precision and logic, a combination that helped them thrive even in the toughest conditions. Viewers of Gold Rush have witnessed Minnie's importance firsthand. She often steps in to help make major decisions, showing her capability as both a leader and a partner. Together, Tony and Minnie have raised 4 children, Monica, Kevin, Mike, and Bianca, each of whom has grown up surrounded by the demanding lifestyle of the Yukon's mining fields. They learned early on about hard work, long hours, and the value of family cooperation. Monica Beets, one of the most recognizable young faces on Gold Rush, began working in the mines at a young age. She quickly proved herself, taking on tough tasks like operating heavy machinery, managing crews, and working alongside her father in the rugged wilderness. Kevin Beets, the second child, has also risen as a key figure in the family business, known for his technical skill and leadership on site. He ensures that daily operations run smoothly, keeping production steady even under pressure. Their brother Mike is another vital part of the team, known for his understanding of the Beets mining methods and his ability to adapt to the unpredictable challenges of the Yukon. Bianca, the youngest, prefers to stay away from the public eye and is less directly involved in mining, though she remains part of the family's close-knit support system. The Beets family is famous for their no-nonsense communication style. Disagreements do happen, especially in high-pressure situations, but they always find a way to resolve them through respect and a shared sense of purpose. Their strength comes from their deep trust in one another and their collective commitment to the family business. Tony and Minnie's relationship stands out as a rare example of a couple who not only share their personal lives but also run a massive enterprise together with equal dedication. Their children's active involvement has transformed the Beets mining operation into something much greater than a business. It has become a living family legacy. This unity has helped Tony remain one of the most influential figures in Yukon's mining world for decades. Over time, the Beets family's single mining venture grew into a vast family-run empire spanning multiple claims and operations. While Tony Beets remains the central figure, the success of their mining dynasty is the result of a true team effort. Minnie manages the financial and organizational aspects, ensuring stability and profitability, while Tony oversees major strategic decisions, like acquiring new claims or upgrading massive pieces of equipment. Their children handle key roles in the field, operating machinery, managing teams, and ensuring productivity. Their home base in the Klondike region of the Yukon has become a symbol of determination and self-reliance, known for its rich gold deposits and even richer family spirit. Unlike many other mining crews that depend on outside contractors, the Beets family proudly keeps most of their work in-house. This independence allows them to avoid conflicts with external partners and maintain complete control over their operations. Their fame expanded far beyond the Yukon, largely due to their long-running presence on Gold Rush. Fans have watched their teamwork, arguments, problem-solving, and results year after year. Their empire isn't just about gold. It's about the values of resilience, unity, and legacy that define their journey. Yet, as seasons passed, fans began to notice subtle changes in Tony Beets' presence on the show. Known for his fiery attitude and hands-on leadership, Tony appeared less frequently in some episodes. When he did appear, his energy seemed slightly more reserved than in earlier years. Social media platforms like Reddit, Instagram, and Facebook began buzzing with speculation. Fans pointed out that Tony wasn't operating heavy machinery as often and seemed to be spending more time supervising from a distance. Some even observed that he looked thinner and older, which sparked concern and curiosity alike. Soon, speculation spread across the Gold Rush community. Loyal fans wondered if Tony was facing health challenges, while others believed he might be stepping back intentionally to allow his children to take more control of the family business. A few even speculated about possible retirement plans, considering his decades of physically demanding work in the harsh Yukon environment. Despite the growing rumors, Tony stayed silent, an approach that only fueled the curiosity. Discussions across fan forums grew louder, with many hoping for official clarification. Eventually, Tony Beets decided to set the record straight. In his typically straightforward fashion, he addressed the rumors head-on, confirming that while the observations were accurate, there was no tragedy behind them. He explained that age and years of grueling physical labor had naturally taken their toll, leading him to slow down slightly and adjust how he worked. Tony shared that he had intentionally been stepping back to give his children greater leadership roles and to ensure that the family legacy continued seamlessly. He also mentioned that certain personal and family matters required more of his attention, though he remained deeply involved in the operations. By openly communicating these changes, Tony reassured fans that he wasn't leaving the mining world or Gold Rush. He was simply evolving with time. The announcement brought a wave of emotional reactions from fans and fellow miners alike. Many expressed relief that Tony was healthy and appreciated his honesty. Others praised his wisdom for gradually transitioning leadership to the next generation while still guiding from behind the scenes. Within the mining community, his decision was seen as a defining moment, proof that even the strongest leaders must adapt while preserving their legacy. Viewers recalled some of Tony's most iconic moments on Gold Rush, from restoring the massive old dredge to managing multiple large-scale operations with unshakable determination. His influence extended beyond mining. He became a symbol of what hard work, family unity, and perseverance can achieve. Across social media, thousands of fans shared heartfelt tributes, calling Tony Beets an icon of modern gold mining and a role model for resilience. Many spoke about how his story inspired them to push through challenges in their own lives. To them, Tony's legacy isn't just built on the gold he mined but on the values he embodied: grit, loyalty, and vision. His journey reminds everyone that success doesn't come from shortcuts but from relentless effort and courage. Even as he steps back slightly, his impact remains deeply rooted in the industry and in the hearts of those who admire him. For Tony, true wealth has never been just about gold. It's about the people you uplift, the legacy you build, and the strength you pass down through generations. As his children continue the work he started, Tony's voice lessens, and leadership will echo through the Yukon for years to come, proving that some legacies are simply too powerful to fade.